Thank you so much for joining me, Kitty. It's truly a pleasure to have you on Brand Equity.
Thank you very much.
What's interesting is, a creative person who's going to talk about China. We've always been amazed with with the nation, and we're always juxtaposing India versus China on possibly every matter. How would you look at the advertising business, India versus China?
China and India are so similar in terms of size and in terms of the chaos, in terms of the number of dialects and tribes and different regions. So yeah, we are very similar. But I think there are also some fundamental differences. I've seen some very, very good work coming out from India. I love Indian humor. You know, in a lot of fast-moving consumer product ads, that you always find humor in the daily life, in the family, and I wish, Chinese creative can come up with something like that.
Creativity is slightly new in China from the advertising standpoint, right? I've heard you say before that it's a little safe and it's a little secure in the way they approach advertising as opposed to, let's say, other countries, even India. Is that accurate?
China doesn't have advertising, like 30 years ago. So it was all propaganda. And nowadays, companies, corporations, products, brands are, doing marketing, and that advertising is a form of marketing communication. So it is very new, very young. So it's good. But at the same time, the stake is too high. China has got 1.3 billion population, and if you fail, then you fail big.
Sure.
So both the clients and agencies tend to be a bit safe. This is what we call, creative conservatism. That you're doing the right thing, but you're not necessarily doing the brilliant thing.
Doesn't that stem from the fact that your media is so expensive? It's so expensive that it's better be safe than be adventurous and go totally wrong.
It is true on one hand, but there is also the other aspect, which is the sales-oriented mentality. That every commercial, every piece is measured by the return on investment. So all these summing up to become like the barrier for us is the basic economic theory, supply and demand, scarcity. For primetime news, national news time slot, there's only so much time, limited. Time is really limited. Therefore, CCTV, which is the national central television station, their primetime news slots before and after is so expensive that they have to auction the time because it's scarce. Sure. So advertisers tend to fight for the time, and they are willing to pay for high amounts of money.
What about margins in China? For instance, in India, it's always an issue, the agency remuneration and the margins, and whether we should go for a commission structure or a fee structure. Right. It's always the big debate. What's China like?
Similar. Okay, my principle is, be it commission or fee, it should work out to be more or less the same, because we were talking about fairness. But at the end of the day, nowadays, since media is inflated so much that we no longer have any media commission clients, and I think that is the trend around the world. So actually, my dissatisfaction with that is we are rewarded by the number of hours that we spend on the project. So we are manual labor.
Like lawyers.
Yeah, we are manual laborers. You sort of know, what sort of size of the team that the client requires, what the projects are. Then you are remunerated regardless of how much media money the client is spending on air. So if your deliverables are like 4 campaigns a year, you're rewarded by that.
Thank you very much, Kitty. Truly a pleasure to have you on Brand Equity.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you.